Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was released in 2020 and developed by Vicarious Visions. After the project, Vicarious Visions would be merged into Blizzard to form Blizzard Albany. They also worked on various Game Boy Advance Tony Hawk titles in the past. This was the last title the studio worked on before being merged into Blizzard. In every single level, we can find some hidden graffiti that says, "Oh, you found me." Some are more hidden than others, but it's always fun to see where the art is going to pop up. When we go into the underground area in Marseille, we can find stone statues of Tony Hawk, further cementing him as an absolute idol figure in this universe. Tony is also featured in a Mount Rushmore parody in the Skate Heaven level. The sculpture also seems to feature Chad Muska, Rodney Mullen, and Steve Caballero, though there has been debate on which pros are featured here. When we are at the mall level, we can see it's now named the Dead Pine Mall, as we can see signage inside that holds this branding, and when we get to the end of the course, we can see a sign that says the same. This is likely a reference to the Lone Pine Mall from the Back to the Future series. We can also find various movie posters that parody different movies and famous actors inside the mall, promoting some films that actually look kind of interesting. Inside the hangar, we can see that banners have been placed all over the walls that celebrate the Tony Hawk game series, with one of the most notable being Thug 2, with Bam Margera removed. This was likely done due to licensing issues with Margera not being featured in the game. We can also find some boxes with the name Banjo Champion emblazoned on them. This is a reference to Guitar Hero, another one of Neversoft's incredibly popular series. Across a few levels, we can find tributes to Jeff Grosso, who sadly passed away just a few months before the game was released. This isn't the only tribute like this that we can find, as Matt Helsum, a Vicarious Visions developer who lost his battle with cancer in 2019, we can see in School 2 that the gym is now named after him. We can find garden gnomes littered across the levels in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, with two of the most jarring encounters being the one with the knife in the school level and the group watching movies in the theater downtown. Due to the game being released in 2020 and it being at the height of the COVID pandemic, there are various references to the virus and the effect it had on civilization, such as the school being closed and warning about the dangers of COVID. In New York, there is a full-blown video showcasing different tips to keep yourself protected, and in downtown, we can find a room that seemingly has all of the toilet paper that was being hoarded during that time period. In Venice Beach, there is a plane that will fly above the level. Behind it is a banner that has various messages on it, with some of these also promoting healthy habits to practice during the pandemic. In the hangar, there are a couple of secret areas that we can skate in, first of which involves grinding on the massive propeller next to the halfpipe. That will open a big wind tunnel featuring an additional halfpipe skating area. Grinding the blades of the helicopter will open the door to the outdoor section that features a couple of things to grind on and an additional vert ramp covered in snow. At School 2, we can enter the gym if we hit this roll call rail early in the session. This opens up to a basketball court with a nice street skating setup and a huge empty pool with a high dive for crazy lip tricks. If we smash this wood in Marseille, it will open up the underground skate area that features a couple of ramps and some nice architecture to grind on. In Venice Beach, we can get to an area with a couple of ramps and a nice hubba ledge, but you need to be careful as leaving the skatable area at all will count as an out of bounds and respawn you at the beginning of the level. At Skate Street, if you grind this rail above the park, it will open an outside area with a couple of ramps and a decent street setup, which adds some charm to this great skate park. In Philadelphia, if we grind this power line, it will open up a skate park under the overpass. It features a half pipe and an excellent graffiti-covered park with plenty of neat things to perform lines on. In Skate Heaven, after grinding this rail, we can jump into the volcano, which will take us to a secret island that features a half pipe. Perfect for catching some hang time in the void. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 features a ton of real-world locations and not just levels named after cities, but actual skate spots from around the world. The Chicago level is modeled after the House of Vans Park, complete with checkered patterns and everything. Downhill Jam is seemingly based on Hoover Dam, with much of the scenery and parts of the level matching closely to the real-world location. The Streets level is based in San Francisco and features many iconic spots, like Lombard Street, the Gons Gap, the Dragon Gate, Vaillancourt Fountain, and the EMB. School 2 features spots like the Leap of Faith, the Gons Rail, and a secret area that holds the Carlsbad Gap. The Marseille level is based on the real-world skate park de Prado, which really holds contests and has been skated on by the very best skateboarders in the world. In New York, we can find a ton of real spots too, like the Pit, which features the same sculpture we can find in-game, the trefoil arc leading to the statue, and my favorite, the Brooklyn Banks, which features a great brick layout that slopes just perfect for skating. The Venice Beach level takes place entirely in a location that was known as The Pit, and we can see signage pleading to save the spot as well as a memorial that confirms it was demolished in the year 2000, making the game one of the best ways to relive the vibe of the area. In Philadelphia, we start in Love Park, which has its letters changed from LOVE to THPS in the game as a nod to the series. The secret area we can find is FDR Park, and it's the stomping grounds of Bam Margera, who made the spot famous in his CKY videos. Skate Heaven is completely comprised of iconic real-world skate spots, like the San Diego 10-stair rail, the Wallows from Hawaii, Tony's Backyard, the Sadlands, and the ramp from Animal Chin. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 features a handful of new pros that were not featured in the original 2 games: Lizzie Armanto, Leo Baker, Letitia Buffoni, Riley Hawk, Tyshawn Jones, Nyjah Houston, Aurori Nishimura, and Shane O'Neill. The game also features a few secret characters, the first of which came from the deluxe edition of the game, the Ripper. This is the skeleton based on a board designed by Powell Peralta artist VC Johnson. If you manage to complete all of the custom skater challenges, you will be rewarded with the guy driving around School 2 in a golf cart as a playable character, Officer Dick. In Tony Hawk 1 and 2, Dick is modeled after and voiced by Jack Black. Finally, if we collect all of the alien plushies in the game, one can be found in every level, the alien we see trapped in Roswell will be unlocked as a playable skater. He also has some otherworldly tricks up his sleeve. When you delete a custom skater, their avatar will turn into a skeleton and crumble to dust. There are some things that were changed in Tony Hawk 1 and 2, such as the warehouse having more windows and graffiti. The time of day was also tweaked to take place during the daytime. In the school level, we can see that the roof has been repainted from cyan to green, and there's new rainbow paint on some of the ramps. The mural that featured the album cover for Freedom by Suicidal Tendencies is now a climbing wall. The mall is now more run down than ever, hinting at some kind of disaster that may have happened here, which is furthered by the emergency signal that we can hear when close to the TVs. In downtown Minneapolis, we are now in the area during the evening. New storefronts have been added and the taxis now drive around erratically. Burnside has stayed mostly the same, except in Tony Hawk 1 and 2, we are now skating during a nighttime rainstorm. We can also add Burnside to the list of places that are based directly on real-world skate parks. Blood was removed with this remake, and the bail animations now feature a retro rewind sequence that saves time from getting up and back onto your board after falling. The mute grab was changed to the Weddle, after the name of its creator, Chris Weddle. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is the first time that Kareem Campbell, Rune Glifberg, Bucky Lassick, Alyssa Steamer, and Jamie Thomas have appeared in the games since Tony Hawk's Underground. Every level in the first two games has been ported in one way or another, except the streets. This is the first game to remaster the level. The Tony Hawk series has always been a great way to pass time, and it features many iconic games that people around the world have fallen in love with. The Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake is for sure the best way to experience these classic games, and the devs at Vicarious Visions did a wonderful job bringing these games to life again, while adding some of their own flair to the project. Thanks for checking out the video, and make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it and want to see more facts from the series, and swing by the Discord to chat anytime you want. The link can be found in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. It has been Mantis. Get fucked.